they were making like trap and dubstep, and I was that one guy that was making trance.
Let's go. So you stood out, you know?
But I think
Trendsetter.
But I think trendsetter.
What if you're in a mosh pit and you like push someone and then you lock eyes and you instantly fall in love?
And then you break their pinky.
So you say that actually happened. Hell
yeah. Welcome back to the I'm Peaking podcast.
What's that?
Why'd you cuss? Now I have to bleep that out. And you cussed again. Robert, it's her fault.
Sam Smith, it's her fault.
It's her fault. I told them, Robert's our editor, by the way, for those of you who don't know. And Robert kind of looks like Sam Smith, and I told him he looks like Sam Smith. That's what that joke is. Anyways, Jan, the question of the day, please.
Question of the day. So unfortunately for us city boys and city girls, summer is coming to an end / is done, but it doesn't feel like it's done in LA. Is it ever done in LA? Anyways,
no.
So cuffing season is now starting. When you guys go to a rave and meet a rave bae, do you guys try to set up a date afterwards, or are you guys like a one and done? Or even worse, are you like a one every set?
New stage, new rave bae.
Yeah, new stage, new rave bae. Hey, look, I'm not shaming the game, all right? I just want to know what has worked for you. Personally, I've never been asked out on a date for just period.
What?
Just period. Wait. But
and now for the biggest lie in
I mean,
history.
listen, okay, I've been asked out. Will I go? Probably not.
Have you been asked out at a rave, though?
No. I usually don't have a rave bae. I go with all my friends. Unless you count Devin as my rave bae, because we just see each other at every rave.
This doesn't mean we're rave baes.
Exactly. So I don't think I've ever had...
That would mean every guy that you go with is a rave bae.
Dang, that's crazy. Hey, don't...
You have
don't
said that before,
don't
actually.
Don't hate the player. Hate the game.
You've definitely said that before, though, so...
Anyways, no, you guys are all my boyfriends. That's different.
Oh, I see. Got it.
Yeah, I don't think I've actually had like a proper rave bae. Hit me up, DM me, please.
I feel like it really depends on the situation. I mean, we've talked about rave baes a lot on this podcast, and I still stick by what I say in terms of like just statistically, or not statistically, but like practically, it's hard to, I guess, secure a rave bae like at a festival when you haven't met them before.
Right.
So I would say that like, you know, someone in your group, I would say that like there's a much better chance of that happening. And so usually when I've gone and I've been single, I haven't gotten a rave bae just with some random person before.
Yeah, I feel like that's so hard, finding like a random rave bae.
Yeah, like, I mean, and if
I've
anything...
seen it happen multiple times.
Well, I mean, if
it's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you do that?
Dang, they would have some
so
major
much game,
riz.
bro.
Yeah.
So much riz.
So much riz and no morals.
I'm too lost in the sauce to be like paying attention to anything else but like my beatbox and the music, you know?
Yeah.
That's all you need.
That's true. Also, I think it begs to question, like, you know, the reason for going to a rave, you know? Like, people's priorities be different, but...
You do you, boo.
Yeah, but I would say that I, at most, am probably just getting an Instagram profile or like social media or something.
Yeah.
And if it was like really good and I like really felt a connection, then I'm getting a number. But aside from that, I feel like it doesn't really need to be too committal, you know? Like,
right.
I think just kind of like go with the flow, let it be. I think I would probably rather just leave it at the festival unless I really felt that connection.
Right, and then it's like, are you even really feeling a connection with somebody who isn't necessarily already a mutual?
Yeah, like this is an entirely different person outside of the festival, you know? Like they're living a whole like other life. So I think that, you just kind of go with the flow and like, no pressure on things. And
I actually know someone who met someone at a rave. I think it was like Beyond Wonderland, and they actually started dating after that. And they dated for like a while, but they're not together anymore.
I know a couple who got married.
Oh,
Oh.
They met at a festival. Yeah.
cuties.
But
So there's hope for me.
There's hope.
it's possible. I would say it's definitely not in the higher percentage, but
yeah.
it is possible. And I would say for anyone out there, if you do get a rave bay at a festival, don't force things. Just kind of go with whatever. And I think, if it's meant to be, it'll be meant to be.
We love that. Devin is always so philosophic.
Right?
I'm like, wow, I didn't know I was coming to therapy
I've been
today.
on a self worth and value journey lately.
We love that.
It's been
I think I'm actually
changing.
on the complete opposite journey.
I know we need to get some meditation. We need to get some meditation into your life, Jan.
Hey, I'm not saying I don't meditate. Like, listen, I journal every day and stuff.
That's
it's just,
That's good.
I'm just
I actually have been finding it harder to journal. I have been, but sometimes I miss a day, and then I have to like make up for it, and like I'm like, because I have like a notes, or I call it a log. It's not a journal, but like, and then I have to like log what I, the day before went.
okay. So this is like my my advice to you is when I miss a day, I only write what I'm grateful for, because I always write 3 things that I'm grateful for
It's good. It's good
the
practice.
day. And then 2 is my manifestations.
Nice.
And so if I don't have time, I'll just do those 2 things and then go to bed.
Yeah, that's good. Oh, you do it right before bed?
Yeah.
You do your visualizations before bed?
Yeah.
So you do sats. Do you know what sats is?
Negatory ghostwriter.
Okay, we'll talk about it after.
Okay, yeah.
Anyways, you're probably wondering why the title of this video has Jason Ross
On
in
it,
it,
but you don't see
and
Jason
Ross is not here. And that's because we actually shot this already with Jason Ross.
Mm-hmm.
And
I looked a lot better than this, I'll tell you that.
and the first part of the audio corrupted completely. We got 6 10-minute tracks with nothing on them. Love it.
And my intro is gone.
Yeah. So we're re-recording this. We're going to jump right into the second segment after we get in our intros. But like we said, welcome back to the I'm Peaking podcast. My name is Devin. And we also have here...
Hi, everybody. I'm Jan.
And I'm Mickey.
And we also have Bryn, but she's also not here.
And we also have... who else do we have? Oh, no, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, Bryn.
Oh, yeah, Bryn.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah. But Mickey prepared a nice little intro for
I
Jason.
did.
So
Maybe
we're gonna
while
let her-
this audio plays, we'll have Jason's reaction visually.
Wait, yeah, that would be cool.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We could
He
do
had
that.
a good reaction. Honestly, it's
He
really
did.
good.
We
Yeah,
could,
yeah, yeah.
So-
we could do that.
Okay. Today, we have a very special guest. He is someone who started off his career making trance and signed with Above and Beyond's record label, Ajuna Beats. He later on became even more versatile with his music when he stepped into the EDM bass scene with 7 Lines' record label, Ophelia Records, and has definitely become an artist that every certified sad boy knows, loves, and cries to. Since then, he has also collabed with other amazing artists in the EDM scene, such as 7 Lions, Trivecta, Wooly, Slander, Griffin, Blink, and so many more. He's someone who can put you in a trance, make you cry, and make you rage all in one set. And fun fact, when a friend of mine asked me what DJs would be part of my EDM DJ Mount Rushmore, he was included. It's Jason Ross.
Wow, what a love letter. She's always commenting about how my intros are love letters, but honestly, that was a love letter if I've ever heard it.
I think,
Yeah, that was really good.
yeah, I think it's because he's one of my favorites, so I really tried.
Oh, too bad we couldn't get Jason's reaction. Oh, actually,
So we'll put it
I'll fade it
visually.
over. All right. Well, anyways, we'll see you in the main episode. We'd like to take a quick second to thank our sponsors. Boom, boom. Daily use nasal sticks.
Essential oils.
If you didn't already know, these are nasal sticks that, they're like aroma sticks, and each one has their own aroma. So we got lavender, tropical, winter mint, and mint. These are great
You could
for
have one if you would like.
using at
Oh, we should-
festivals.
She could have a new one. Hold on.
Do we have
Yeah,
any
that
new
one's like
ones,
been in
or-
our nostrils. Sorry, Jason.
And guys, these have essential oils.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. You guys say something?
The tropical one is so good and nothing important.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Well, I was actually going to make a
Devin,
joke
give Jason
about
the tropical
Jay
one.
to
Or a
declassify your pineal gland
We're gonna
essential oils.
Here, try it out.
If you want to be zen, essential oils are going to help you a
You
lot.
can have that one if you would like.
They're like
Very
pineal
cool.
gland.
I'm
What?
excited to try it.
So these are great for using at festivals, especially if you have anxiety, or like I know a lot of people will be in the middle of a crowd and they'll be like, they get a little claustrophobic or something like that. This kind of like zaps you out of that. Or if you're nauseous, it's a great way to like get rid of the nausea. I know plenty of people who do that, and they use these, and they'll just stick them in their nose.
Or
and
if you're crying too much at Jason Ross sets and you're getting stuffy, this would help a lot too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Clears congestion, all of that. Basically, just get yourself a boom boom.
Yeah, so definitely go and check them out. We do have a code. You can use code I'm Peaking, save yourself some money off of them. But these are great to go and pick up. I think they're all sold out. They're like all sold out on their online store right now. So actually, you can also pick them up at like your local CVS or Walgreens. They do sell them there too.
Does the code work?
Oh yeah, so I guess the code wouldn't work. Well, they will.
Code I'm Peaking at cashier.
I mean, they'll restock, but so I guess when they do restock, you can go and pick one up online. But if you want to go and pick one up now, you can go and check them out at your local convenience store. So definitely go and give them
Very
a try.
cool.
Give them a sniff. Wasn't
Yay!
that
Oh
was
my
the
God.
mantra that we gave them?
Give him a sniff.
Oh boy. All right. Well, yeah, I know.
Bryn had a
Oh, yeah.
question.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I know recently you made a song with Tyler or Fairlane, right? Because you guys have like that collab post or whatever. And he lives in Colorado. You live here, and I'm assuming the song was made when you guys were in the studio together. So, or was it made in the studio together? Because my question would be,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, my question would be like, how is it like making a track with someone that's like literally across the states and like emotional music? Like you want people to feel the music, and like you guys aren't together in the same studio.
Well, I think when we're making emotional music, I don't think we need to like necessarily be in the studio together. Like we don't need to like
cry on each other's
cry,
shoulders.
yeah. Yeah. For that one, we made it remotely. So he was in Denver and I was in LA, and we just bounced the project back and forth, which is actually a really cool thing to do because there's like the surprise of like getting
What'd
the
you
update
do?
back from him.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then like, and you can kind of connect to it in your own way and process that and then contribute your own thing to it and add to that. That was our process. And that's like what I do with Seven Lions. Because he's on FL Studio and I'm on Ableton.
Oh.
So we can't bounce the project back. So we stem it out. So we like bounce the kick and the bass and the chords and the piano and then I bring it into my project and we add to it. And it's a cool process. Like if you connect with that producer and you love what they do and they love what you do, it's a really cool experience.
Never even thought of that. Like how certain artists, they're using different systems, and they have to like find a way to merge those. It's so funny, like, because as they're saying this, I can totally relate because me and our main editor for the podcast, that's exactly what we do is we bounce back the file basically, and I'll do my edits and then I'll send it over to him. He'll do his edits, and then I have that same feeling where when he sends it back to me, he's like, "Yo, this social clip's done," and I render it, and I'm like, "Oh, I can't wait to like check it out and see what he did."
Yeah. It's the same feeling.
Yeah,
same feeling.
So funny.
How do these collabs like usually start? Do you just like come up with a chord or a chorus and you're like, oh wait, I think this artist would do so well with this?
It's all different. It could be like maybe you get a demo or a top line from a vocalist, and then this could sound really good with Seven Lions or a Woolly or something like that. Or I have an idea already, like with some pads and some strings and kind of like this bed, kind of instrumental bed.
Yeah.
And maybe you're hanging out at a festival and like, hey, like, by the way, I have this song. If you want to like jump on it, it's kind of like that. So there's so many different ways. Or you have a full song and you're not connecting to it deeply and you feel like it needs someone else to come in and add some life to it or kind of, and you feel like this guy could bring it to the next level.
Interesting.
Cool.
Yeah, it's all dependent. Yeah.
Well, I know you have some music for us to listen to on that note. Anything you care to share with us right now? Would love to hear it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Seven Lions,
No
I
way.
actually do
Oh my
have
gosh, I just got the
something.
chills. I just got full body chills. I was not in the mood
Is
to
there a
cry
side
today.
chance drop in this track?
It's like there's actually like a not psytrance, but it's like a hard techno fusion thing, which me and Jeff love to make.
Bet.
Like
I love.
a lot of times when I'm like in my like hard techno phase, I'd send it to him and he's like, "Let's go."
Sick.
But
yeah.
yeah, and not only Jeff, but Seven Lions. This is also Halion too.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, we also had her. We had her on the
Queen.
podcast before.
Nice,
Love her.
nice.
So
Yeah, we love her. We love her.
she's awesome.
But what is it called? When is this coming out?
Yes.
It's called Battle Scars. It's not even finished yet, so I'm giving you guys like the sneak peek. Exclusive.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I love that.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go.
Oh my God, this is already bringing me back to like
Devin, please turn this up.
early.
I lost my heart to battle scars. I don't know how to fight again. I don't know who you are. 'Cause every time our worlds divide, it's writing a story on my skin in battle scars. I'm wearing the damage that you did in battle Cause every time our worlds divide, it's writing a story on my skin in battle scars. Battle scars. Battle
It's like that classic melodic bass, like the OG melodic bass sound.
Oh my god, I feel like I'm being transcended.
Ascending.
Okay.
Oh, here comes here comes the hard techno. Yep.
Oh, that's nasty.
Wow.
You said that's
Fire.
not done yet?
It's not done yet. No.
Thank God we won't have any
Still some more to
copyright
do.
issues. to release it.
That's such a high quality
That sounded done
produced
to me.
track.
Yeah, that sounded really good.
Very quality.
We're both like perfectionists, so like we still hear like little
Oh, I got you,
details
got
that
you,
we
got
can
That was so
fix. So,
good.
yeah.
Melodic bass and techno.
Wow.
Two genres that you wouldn't normally
Yeah,
think would
who
go
would've
together, but they
known? So
honestly go
good.
together
They
so
work.
well.
They work so well.
Yeah, I
Crazy.
love genre blending tracks, to be honest,
Yeah.
because I just feel like just more people get to experience one track and really enjoy it together.
Totally. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I love it.
Damn. So what was like the inspiration for that track? Like,
So Jeff Seven Lions actually had this kind of like kind of what I said before, like this instrumental breakdown, he just got a bunch of analog synths, and we were talking about working on something else together, and he had this idea, and it was very trancey, very epic, and he was like, let's see what we can do with it.
Nice.
So we kind of built it up, and it's kind of like this melodic bass, hard techno fusion, which I love because my sets are very versatile.
Yeah. They are.
And I love that. I love that fusion of genres, and it's very much in line with what I made before in my trance days, because I don't know if you guys know, but like that in Juno Beats trance, the arrangement is like you build up and you have like this bass line, kind of gritty bass line, and then it drops down in this emotional, beautiful music, builds up into the chords, and then outros in, back into the bass line. So
right.
I've essentially just like sped it up, kind of did what I did at my trance days and made it faster, made it harder. So it's very much in line with what I love to make, and this is just has all the ingredients of a banger.
Because like every single time I see a set of yours, it's always different. Like I go in without not expecting anything. And so when I saw you like 2 days ago, I was like, wait, he's dropping Rocktronic? Jason Ross doing Rocktronic? It was sick.
Yeah. I was going to say that track really brought, I said it in the song, but that track really brought me back to like OG melodic dubstep. So like, it made me think of like, it's a deep cut, Seven Lions. He did a remix to Florence and the Machine like a long time ago. I forgot what the song is called, but any like Seven Lions fans out there will know what I'm talking about. But that like the chorus made me think of that. And then that bass line that you were talking about, like ending on that bass line, same thing. Like with a lot of those old melodic bass songs, they would start off with just the bass line part, and then just like you said, drop into like this beautiful section of the song where you're just like really focusing on the emotion and how you're feeling.
Totally.
And I think that's such a cool like dichotomy.
Yeah.
And so I can see where the like appeal for, like that's why melodic bass I feel like is so popular,
Yeah.
It's like you have that juxtaposition.
But I know that, your career started with trance and stuff, and now like EDM's growing more and more. Do you feel that sometimes the trance community is kind of being like left out a little bit? Because right now with like dubstep's a huge thing, or like house and techno, but I just feel like sometimes we forget about trance.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, you of course have Dream State, which is
That's true.
a really awesome festival, and there's still some amazing trance artists that are still doing like some of my favorite work for sure. Andrew Bayer is one of them.
Yeah, he's a good one.
Ilan Bluestone, Above and Beyond are still crushing it. I genuinely love that music, and I don't know that it's not getting the attention. It's definitely it's a lot bigger actually outside of the US than like melodic bass. So it still has that like worldwide appeal.
Yeah.
It's hard to say, it's like maybe I'll start making trance again and, maybe expand that out a little bit more. But it's really hard to say. Above and Beyond are still, I think, on top, and Armin van Buuren. But, we're in a really interesting time for genres. For so long, trance used to just, in Juno Beats, trance used to be, 128 BPM, and that was it. And now music's getting faster. Trance music is getting faster, and techno is getting faster. It's not really like a BPM anymore. It's more just like, do whatever you feel like doing. And I think that might open some doors for trance again. I mean, even techno is getting more melodic these days, which is cool. So there is that trance influence. So I think the genre is just expanding, and all genres are expanding. So I think being versatile, I think, is maybe like the new thing is just kind of, you don't need to like stay in one genre to be a DJ anymore. You can kind of do what feels right to you, and that's kind of always what I've followed, is my intuition. And if I hear a new song, I'll take some inspiration from that and do my own thing with it. it's a really cool time for electronic music right now.
Yeah.
It's really exciting.
I feel like by doing that too, you're just resonating with more listeners because, you know, like you're not just evolving your own sound, but you're evolving just like, or you're a part of the movement of just expanding these genres and like blurring them together to where it's just like music that you like to make.
Totally. And I think what's cool is like, I think also from the fan standpoint too, is I feel like the fans are being more open-minded too, to like exploring
100%.
new genres and, you know, to their favorite DJs trying new things. I think from that standpoint, it's really cool. It used to be like, if you're a trance fan, you'd only go to trance shows.
That's true.
Right.
And I think a lot of those fans have also become melodic bass fans too, because there's a lot of similarities
Yeah.
in that music.
Maybe
Yeah.
trance will be 2025's genre.
That's
just how this year was drum and bass. Maybe next
Yeah.
year will be trance.
So that's what I'm thinking too. Is I'm like, I feel like trance is, to like, if I was like a weatherman, like predicting the forecast, you know, I would say that like trance is definitely one of the genres that's in the queue, you know, to like be one of those next genres that
pop off
will get a
again.
resurgence,
Yeah.
you know, because I feel like, you know, everything moves in cycles, right? Like
Yeah.
we're always repeating, like, you know, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. So I feel like there will become a time again. I don't think trance will die out.
Never.
Yeah, I don't think so. We were gonna like, you know, touch on the topic. I would love to re-explore the topic again of like the trance and spirituality. So I wanted to kind of comment on that because so I've been getting super into. I don't know if you know who Dr. Joe Dispenza is.
Yeah.
Oh, are you familiar? Okay, cool.
Little
Yeah,
bit,
so
little bit.
so
Oh,
he.
let's go.
So a lot of it,
More
yeah.
so my fiance is more
Oh, let's
definitely more
go.
spiritual in that sense.
So your
yeah.
pineal gland is cleansed.
Oh, God.
Screaming.
So-
Scream.
So I've been doing a lot of his meditations lately.
Cool.
And I noticed that like some of the music that he uses in those meditations is, I mean, it's very ambient, but it's also like I feel like there are some elements of trance, and on the meditations he has that are a little more like there's like kind of a beat going and stuff like that. I feel like some of them could be trance. Like you could have
For all you know, it's a
meditation.
Jason Ross song.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
well,
you
no,
can have-
well, those are binaural beats because, like, at 40
True,
hertz,
yeah.
scientifically, that's what
Yeah.
actually helps you focus.
Right,
So
right.
when
That makes sense.
in meditation practices, they usually have these binaural beats, so they can help people focus on
Yeah.
like whatever they're trying to meditate or visualize.
And it's funny because Nand mentioned in our episode with star signs that he used to study to trance. So I feel like trance has definitely got like this interesting pocket of like, you know, you could use it for more than just obviously enjoying electronic music, but like you could use it to study, you could use it for meditation and spirituality, stuff like that. I remember the first time I went to Dream State, which was 2 years ago, and I kind of had this like transcendent moment during one of the I can't remember. I think it might have been Armin. It was Armin or it was Seven Line or Abraxas.
Okay.
It was one of those sets, but I remember just like closing my eyes during that set, and I think not to go like too into all the brainwave stuff, but like I did kind of go into this like elevated state where now I mean I might have had some help there, but but I did
That
go
helps,
into this
yeah.
elevated
Yeah.
state of like I just felt like I was. It's hard for me to describe. I felt like
no,
I was one
I get you.
with like everything around me, and I felt like I could manifest anything.
It's like the
immediately.
energy
Wow.
waves were just like in
Yeah.
one plane.
And so in Dr.
That's
Joe,
cool.
Joe Dispenza's his work, he calls that you're in theta brainwave state, right? It's like the state that you go into right before you go to sleep. And so I just think it's really interesting. I think trance is like such a good medium, and it's such a good like medium for that kind of connection.
For
you know?
sure,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah. I think the goal of trance music, and I guess that, you know, even that like brainwave, like it's to kind of unlock something within you of like, and this is not really from a spiritual, this is just from experience of like,
Yeah.
just kind of open your mind and, you know, let you kind of connect to whatever source or higher
Yeah.
energy, or, you know, I don't know, like it's like that. And that for me, I get that deep feeling,
Yeah.
that deep emotional feeling. And when someone does it really well, you know, like when I saw Above and Beyond, I had that same kind of feeling that you had, where everything just like clicked. And it was
Yeah.
like, this is this is my music.
I love that you say connect to source, because that's
Yeah.
like something that's actually a term they use like in manifestation world, is like when you're doing that, you're connecting to source, because we all come from source.
But
That's right.
you also mentioned that your fiance is into the spiritual stuff. Like, has she taught you anything about it?
Yeah, totally. I mean, she showed me a lot of like, different like podcasts and stuff like that, and books she loves to read. So she's very knowledgeable in that sense, for sure.
Which
Spiritually.
podcasts, out of curiosity?
Oh man, I don't know, but she loves like Esther Hicks. Is like,
Okay.
you know.
Oh yeah, I love Abraham. Yeah.
Yes.
Teachings
yeah,
of
yeah,
Abraham. Yeah, that's a
yeah.
law of attraction stuff. That's
Totally,
that's how I
yeah.
started in like manifestation stuff. I love her. She's
Oh, like
awesome.
the secret.
Yeah, that was my like first introduction to law of attraction. I had this like crazy moment where like I realized that a lot of my life has been connected to manifestation, because even before I was introduced to law of attraction, I got super into hypnosis when I was going from high school to college, and I learned how to do it. I actually have a video on YouTube that I will
Wait, I kinda wanna
I will
see
make
this.
it public. I will make it public soon. Right now it's unlisted. It actually has 82,000 views on it, where I hypnotized one of my baseball teammates. And
Wait, who? From high school?
You don't know him. His
Oh.
name's Chad. He went to Cyprus. Shout out Chad, by the way. But yeah, and so I did it on camera, and I recorded the whole thing.
So it actually
and
worked.
it like somehow got out onto the internet. Someone posted it in like a Reddit thread or something.
Whoa.
And that's how it got like a ton of views. And I came back to it. I'm like, whoa, when did this get like 50,000 views on
Wow.
it? And it was so crazy, because like I've been on this like self journey recently in the last like month, I would say. And I just realized, I'm like, wow, my life has always been connected to this kind of thing. And not to like go on a tangent, I don't want to make this like a spiritual podcast kind of thing, but I just think it's super interesting. But
Yeah, it totally is.
trance music, I'm gonna
Yeah.
start listening to trance.
So I'm interested. How would you describe then, or like define your experience? Because you said that it's not really spiritual for you, but it's more just like you connecting with the music. But how would you define that then, if it's not spiritual for you?
I think at like a young age, for some reason, like, how I got into dance music, I was growing up in Minnesota. There's no scene at all at the time, 2001. And I would listen to like music on the radio, like just driving in the car with my parents, and, Cascada Every Time We Touch would come on.
Oh my God,
And like
yes.
Eiffel 65. And for some reason, as like an 11-year-old, I was just like already so connected to like just that dance music vibe. And so, as I grew up, like I would hear songs on the radio, or I would like I would go to like the CD store and like grab like dance compilations just to like try to find music that resonated with me. And this is just like a curiosity of mine.
Yeah.
It just came from this curiosity to like the search to find music that resonated with me. And there was no EDM scene. There was nothing at all. None of my friends liked this kind of music, but I was just on this search to find that music.
Did you always know that you were going to be an artist?
Once I started producing music, I got this software program when I was like 11. I made like a dance album. And
At 11?
At 11.
Go off.
Wait, not a song, an album.
An album.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. It was like one
crazy.
summer I just like spent all day.
Whoa.
And it was around 9/11. And I decided to sell my CD and sell the proceeds, or donate the proceeds to the Red Cross.
Nice.
And got a lot of this like, news exposure. And
So you were on the news
it
and
was
everything.
on the news. The Timberwolves
Wow.
like gave me an award.
No way.
You're just
The
radiating
Minnesota
like great
Timberwolves?
Minnesota
energy.
Timberwolves.
man.
Yeah.
Would you consider yourself an empath?
Probably, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe
I
a
could
little
feel
bit,
that
yeah.
only because of everything how you're explaining, just like the way that you move, and it's just very like angelic
Yeah.
and just like there for a good time.
I think I get that from my mom, probably. Very empathic. And but yeah, I mean, after that, it was just a hobby. I was just making beats, and I was
yeah.
always just making this, like, it wasn't even trance music at the time. It was just dance music. I loved it.
Yeah.
And and so I was always on the search to find bands, artists, DJs that I resonated with, even like, and it could be even like cheesy stuff. Like, to me, it wasn't cheesy. Like, I loved Yanni, was like a really cool inspiration of mine, really young.
Okay.
Very worldly music. You can look it up. I played the sax growing up, so I loved
me
melodies.
too.
Like
Which
nice.
alto? Tenor?
Alto, and then
Nice.
tenor and jazz.
Let's go.
And I loved Kenny G. Like,
yeah.
I'm not afraid to say it. I love Kenny G.
Oh, legend.
Like smooth jazz, I loved. So
Hell
I was
yeah.
always like on this search to find whatever music. It didn't have to be a genre. And I
Yeah.
think that's what I'm doing now. It's like I'm just expanding genres because I never stayed in
Yeah.
one genre growing up. It was like, I like John Mayer, I like Coldplay, Yanni. Like it doesn't have to be one style of music. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be like, metal or like this or that. There's things that I find that I love in every genre. And like even on my EP, Space Between has like this like, emo rock vibe, which I love. Like growing up, like in middle school, I listened to that music. And so I pull inspiration, and I think that's kind of what my sound is. It's just pulling inspiration from all these different parts of my growing up and my life. If I see someone's set, I'll like find a song. I saw DJ Snake at Zook, and I love that set. That was a great set.
Yeah.
It was epic, and there was like, I like wrote things down like, oh, okay, that's a good idea.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, going to shows or like, especially like since you make music, it's very inspiring.
Yeah,
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm on 1001 track lists all the time.
Let's
like
go.
seeing
As
what's
you
like after
should.
EDC, I'm like going through like, oh,
right.
what's this guy playing right now?
Who knows? Maybe like your next album or EP is just gonna be totally different than what you do now.
Right now,
Contemporary album.
Contemporary.
I don't know.
Jazz album.
Jazz
That would
album.
be sick. I would listen to it. I would 100% listen to it.
Yeah, no, right now I'm in this new phase that we can talk about more, but it's now that the EP is done, I'm kind of like into album mode a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's some trance thing that's speaking to me right now, and I'm still figuring it out in my head, but I'm really excited for this next phase.
Hell
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it was really interesting, just going off of that topic a little bit more. And I know you mentioned like Eiffel 65 in there too. And it kind of reminded me of there's this one of our friends who's also a content creator. Her name's Scarlett. She kind of has this like little series that she does where it's like me liking this genre of EDM now, and then it's like she has like a flashback moment to like old her when she was a kid, like watching
cool.
some old commercial or something that included like an EDM early version of EDM.
Yeah,
so like I
yeah.
think it was like one of them's like the Mitsubishi commercial or something, and it's like me like I can't remember what kind of music she used for that, but it was like that was an early influence for her.
Yeah.
So I feel like those early influences definitely lead
Dictate.
up to your style now. Would you say that any of like that from when you were growing up has definitely found its way into
Back.
your style now?
Yeah, I think it's just a part of my being of just all this whole like this influence and inspiration that I kind of collect growing up into now. There's like this well that I kind of just connect to, and it's just from, it could even be like movies like that, I like film scores that I hear, like that's like some of the earlier trance. I wouldn't call it trance, but emotional music that I really connected
Like
to.
Hans Zimmer.
Like
Hans
cinematic
Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer's a
soundscapes
huge
or like
thing.
ethereal
Yeah,
soundscapes.
like I remember this movie Road to Perdition with Tom Hanks.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was like Thomas Newman that made the film score that I just like loved. These lush strings and
Yeah.
this like it was a really like heavy, deep movie, and that music was just incredible. I think it's led me to where I am right now for sure.
Do you think people can tell what type of music you listen to based on your personality?
Is that for me?
Yeah.
Well, I would
Or,
say
like, in
yes. Like
general.
after talking
Yeah.
with you for this past like hour already,
I can tell.
100%. Like
Like you seem like a very calm presence to be
Yeah.
around. So I think
Yeah.
trance is like perfect.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that.
It seems like you genuinely live from your heart, which is really rare,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
Especially like being in LA, a lot of people are like they're just like not that they're not living for the right reasons. It's like they're
Trying to
A lot
fit
of them
in.
are very surface level.
Yeah, they're very trying to fit
I
in.
see
well,
that.
well, no, not even just surface level. More just like they have like the bad intentions, you know, where
Sure,
it's
yeah.
like
True.
versus listening to you just sounds like you just work from the heart.
Mhm.
Totally.
How long have
Yeah.
you been here for? In LA?
Since probably 2014.
Oh, so it's
Wow.
been a
when
while.
you
yeah.
when you went to your first rave.
Wow. So
Yeah.
maybe
Remembers, he works from the heart. A lot of people don't listen, you know?
I think
Yeah.
so the reason why I went to LA is I went to Icon, and that's where I
Oh.
met Mac J is one of like my oldest friends. He told me about it, and I was kind of like making music in San Diego and DJing. He's like, I'm going to this place called Icon. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like maybe I should check it out. And that's where I met, a lot of the bass guys like Slander, Sullivan King.
They all went there.
They all went there around the time that I was there.
Whoa.
That's
So-
so
Imagine going to to Icon and you're in the same like cohort class as
Yeah.
Jason Ross, Sullivan King, Slander.
Yeah.
Imagine
That
like that
rem-
yearbook.
powerhouse.
Like,
Yeah.
having a
That
yearbook
year.
of like that would be so
Wow.
But
iconic.
yeah.
that reminds me of that one photo of like Skrillex, Flux, Porter, Dylan Francis. Like they're all in the same photo and they're all like super young and they're just like.
Do you guys have a photo?
No, but we do have. There's a photo of like me, Slander, and Keizo, and all these guys together.
That's epic.
But yeah, like that was a great time to just like be in LA. Jaws went there, like Hayden, Keizo was there.
Wow.
But the thing going back to like the authenticity is like a lot of people at Icon, I didn't know this at the time, they were making like trap and dubstep, and I was that one guy that was making trance.
Let's go. So you stood out,
Trendsetter.
you know?
But I think
Trendsetter.
But I think trendsetter. But I think
transcended.
like a thing to take away, even like as a fan of this music, is like if you like a certain style of music and your friends don't, and you want to really check out this guy or this DJ or girl at a festival, like, or if you want to listen to this person that makes the music that people don't connect with, like, go do that. Go listen to that. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if it's cool or not. Like, if you love it, go seek it out.
Yeah.
I remember I was at like Coachella and I wanted to see Seguros, who's like this Icelandic band, and none of my friends wanted to go, and I was like, all right, well, I'll see you guys later. And I just went and I loved it. I had such a cool experience just going alone. And I think that's how I've kind of lived my life, is just being authentic and doing what feels right for you.
Yeah.
And not because it's cool, because a lot of my earlier influences weren't cool, but I didn't care because I loved it. And I think that's what it's all about, is living authentically and being authentic to yourself and
Yeah.
doing things that because you want to do it, not because it's like the cool thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think
Ain't that the
in
truth?
turn, that makes you cool. At least in
Yeah.
my eyes, that's
That's cool.
100%.
that makes
Yeah.
you cool.
Do you feel like this mindset that you have makes you have like a better perception of like the world in general,
Yeah.
or like people that are around you? Like you just tend to like lean on, like being understanding of like where
Yeah.
they come from.
Yeah. But I think if you're being authentic, like that gives people permission to also be authentic too. And so that's how you have more of those authentic
I
and
think,
real
yeah.
connections and relationships.
I
Yeah.
think especially, with social media, everyone's trying to like fit in with the trends and everything. And, sometimes it's hard to like, you sometimes forget who you are because you're seeing so much of it on social media. You're like, oh, I want to be this person. But then you literally forget, like, wait, who am I though?
That like leads to like overconsumption and not creating,
Yeah.
So it's like instead of actually creating and feeling like, okay, who am I? You're just like scrolling and consuming
Yeah.
others
Yeah.
people's
And I feel like
lives.
everybody in the creative field can kind of like, we all can say the same thing. Like, we are all trying to be like liked and perceived well by the audience, which then in turn can like make you kind of lose.
It
who you are.
affects
Yeah.
it affects you like down to your core. Just being on that whole like self-love journey is so important. I
And
feel
then
like
sometimes you kind
Totally.
of feel fake even to yourself.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, because then you're like dance bookie dance,
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think
Exactly.
like the comparing is a big thing.
Huge.
Probably that,
Oh.
like there's so many, the algorithm is showing you all this stuff, and you're seeing all these people are kind of putting their best selves online,
Yeah.
and it's easy to compare, and I think like if you don't know who you are yet, you're still exploring. I think one thing to do is just post things and try it out,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
if you resonate with it or your fans do, like
Do you-
you learn by doing.
Do you
Yeah.
feel like you have to cater to how the algorithm is?
Me personally,
Yeah. Or just like
Um,
how you perceive on social media? Because obviously nowadays artists kind of have to be on social media.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
Do
know.
do you find it hard for yourself, or you just
yeah,
like let it go?
It's definitely like a challenge. I mean, there's just so many things are changing on social media and with the algorithm, and sometimes your fans don't even see your post.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Oh my God,
But-
for
yeah.
real. Like people who don't even follow you be seeing
Dude,
your
the
posts
algorithm
now.
has changed so many
Yeah,
times.
I know,
It's
it's
ridiculous.
wild. It's wild, but I think like as long as you're being yourself and being real, like that's all that matters,
Yeah.
If you're like, it's just not natural for me to like jump on trends and like do the dances, and sometimes I'll do it. Sometimes like the Fairlane one was really cool, that reel that we did
That was
together.
a great
That was
one.
so good.
But it's it's just a lot of my time I spend in the studio, and
Yeah.
or I'm traveling and playing shows, so it's hard to like make that a big priority. But I releasing music and making the content with it, so it's tough to do all these things at once. And
It is.
Yeah.
Do you have a team behind you, or is it just you?
I do have a team.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. But still, it's a lot, and I feel like if you're really going for like the TikTok thing, it's like you kind of have you guys probably know you have to make that a priority. It's like it's a lot of work,
Mhm. Yeah.
and
it
it's just not a huge priority of mine. But obviously, I want people to find my music, and
Yeah.
You're doing the thing.
I'm doing it.
Yeah,
I'm
but
doing
you're
it.
good at it naturally. And I think that's just because you're authentic, And
Yeah.
the thing with social media is a lot of people tend to like lean towards things that feel authentic. You could tell, even though
Yeah.
it's like through a screen, you could tell if someone's trying to pretend to be funny or be
Mm-hmm.
or whatever
Yeah.
versus like someone who's genuinely just being
Yeah.
themselves.
And it's a huge
Totally.
trend nowadays. People are seeking like originality.
That's so true. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think like the real value right now is, in my opinion, like authenticity.
Yeah.
I think because you can kind of see through the
Yeah.
people are trying to be someone
The
they're
rat
not.
race.
Because we
Yeah,
went through like the
exactly,
whole phase of like pretending that your life is so great, but now people are seeking like, no, I just want to know what you do in your everyday
That's
life.
true.
Yeah.
That is actually just becoming more of a priority thing, even with content. And God, who was I was just watching someone that was talking about this, where they were like, people want to see that authentic moment at like high school where like some kid's playing the piano or like something for his teacher. I don't know. I can't remember the exact thing, but it was like, even if that thing is staged or whatever, like people like seeing those authentic moments now.
There's like this whole trend to called hopecore, where
Ooh.
people love seeing like at-home videos of good things happening to people,
Yeah.
or like people also love when like military family members come
Oh
home and
yeah,
surprise
those videos
like their
are
family.
always
Yeah, it's like a huge thing.
Yeah, those are
So cute.
awesome.
Because those are real. Those are real.
Yeah,
Exactly.
for sure.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Totally.
Well, shifting gears just a little bit, kind of bringing us back to our question that we started the episode with, which is going to be a lot different from all this talk about authenticity. But we wanted to ask the question of, what do you guys think is the best set to find a rave bay at?
I feel like
Would it be trance?
Depends on who you
Yeah.
are as a person.
who you are.
Yeah.
Totally.
I personally obviously would choose like melodic bass just because all the emotions are raw in there. And if you want to headbang and rage together, it's going to be in that set.
I choose
So-
drum and bass.
Yeah.
Because I want someone who also loves drum and bass.
Okay.
But it would have to be like a sub-focus set, like a Wilkinson set, where there's
Dimension?
still melody.
Yeah,
Dimension would be
like-
fire because
yeah.
then you got
Fun.
like the upbeat moments.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
melodic DMB.
Maybe headux too if I'm feeling
Oh my
like a little bit
damn.
gritty
All right,
that
you're
day.
going, yeah.
All of it, all drum and bass.
You wouldn't want to find love at a sudden death set?
Honestly, it would have to be backstage because then we're just talking now rather than like raging. I think it's different because I'm not trying to find a lover in a mosh pit. I'm sorry. That's not
But
my love of my life.
what if you're in a mosh pit and you like push someone and then you lock eyes and you instantly fall in love?
And then you break their pinky.
So you say that actually happened. I looked at, I was in a mosh pit. There was a really cute guy, but this was when I was like 20 years old, and I think that speaks for itself. Where I
Okay.
was young, and like I'm in a mosh pit thinking like, oh my god, and like this cute guy, but it's like that's not real. I feel
Yeah.
like I don't even know who this man is. Like I didn't talk to this guy. So it's like that's not where I want.
The one that got away. Just
Yeah.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Unless they're like helping you up in the mosh pit and you
That's
guys have like a
different.
moment.
That's
that-
different.
like you're on the
Yeah,
floor
yeah.
and suddenly you're just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's funny.
God.
Also, didn't we were talking about, Jason, are you familiar with like the different attachment styles by
Like
chance?
anxious, avoidant,
Like,
secure.
Yeah. I majored in communication, so.
Oh.
High
I
five,
did
me
learn a little bit of that,
too.
yeah.
Nice. I think we were wondering like what attachment style do you think like suits each genre of music?
Mm.
So
You know
for
what I
example,
mean?
yours, how would you?
So like
What are the different styles?
so for example, I would say so I guess we'll use the main 4 ones, which are if you guys don't know, you guys can look up the attachment styles, but there's anxious avoidant, anxious attached, secure attached, and fearful avoidant.
Well, you could just simplify it. There's anxious, secure, avoidance, and
Disorganized. Yeah,
which
yeah.
is basically just like this describes 4 different ways that someone could react to an emotional situation.
A lot of it's like stemmed through childhood, but like I'll give you an example.
Trauma.
Yeah, exactly, through trauma. But I'll give you an example. Like in my opinion, I would say that a lot of people who listen to melodic bass are probably anxious attached or anxious preoccupied.
Oh, that's me.
Which means they're very like they can be clingy because they fear abandonment. You know,
Ooh,
they don't want
that hits
someone to
something.
like abandon them. So like in relationships, usually you'll have an anxious avoidant and an anxious attached person is like probably one of the most common pairings, right underneath a secure attached and a secure attached. And usually that's because like the anxious avoidant person had like a rough childhood. A lot of men growing up with like hard dads who like tell them not to like feel their emotions and stuff.
Yeah.
And then anxious attached people are usually like associated with like, a lot of mostly women, you know, who grow up that way. That's why there's always that like, there's always that dynamic. But I would say that overall, melodic bass, a lot of those kinds of people tend to have like a very anxious, preoccupied attachment style,
or
because
secure.
they don't like to, or secure,
because then
or
you're
secure.
secure with your emotion to be able to feel.
I would say that that's probably underneath, but I would say that there's probably a higher percentage of anxious, preoccupied, and
Devin,
anxious
just say it's
avoidance.
me.
You said it already.
Should
But
I just leave?
I
I feel like I need to
feel like,
log
yeah.
off.
anxious avoidance, though, I feel like are
Maybe
usually
I
the
wanna
ones at
avoid
like
this
a
conversation.
bass set. Like they're usually at like
Yeah.
a heavy bass set because they like the rage. They like
Yeah.
like they don't like feeling their feelings.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
I can see that. Yeah, for sure.
So
Yeah.
what would you say would be like trance? What do you think?
It's probably coupled up with melodic bass. I think there's like similarities there for sure.
I would say trance is a little bit more secure.
I would also say that. I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know who you
or
are.
anxious
Okay,
because
yeah.
they don't want to feel the emotion of the lyrics and they rather just have beats.
Yeah.
You could go either way.
But I
I
would
know,
say,
yeah.
I definitely agree. I think secure is probably the higher percentage, you know, just because they're like one with like, they're one with the music.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
right,
it's like
yeah.
they use music to kind of just regulate their emotion because they know how.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good way.
Nice. Yeah,
That's a
that's
good
right.
way of putting that.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, but I would say and then like a lot of your bass genres, your heavy bass, like dubstep, like hard, wonky bass, hard style, a lot of those genres, I would say probably going to be more anxious avoidant or
Yeah,
techno. Techno, I think techno is like pretty void of emotion.
Yeah,
Techno's like
for
disorganized.
Techno could be disorganized.
I see that.
attached,
I see that.
I
Yeah.
can see that for sure.
So interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
Now
anyways.
you got to think about it.
Yeah, he wanted
Let
to
us-
talk about attachment styles
Well,
so
we
bad.
had it on the agenda. We had it on the agenda. But let us know in the comments, especially if you know your attachment style. Let us know what genre of music you tend to gravitate towards the most, and how that relates to your attachment style, or how you think that
Yeah.
relates to it.
And if you're going through a breakup, honestly, doing this research will help you because
Yes.
having some like something logical and like factual to like look at, honestly, naturally just helps you get over something.
Yes.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. I think, there's definitely labels for sure, but I feel like you can be any. I don't know that you can label necessarily like one genre for one
yeah.
style. I'm
Totally
sure there's
not.
avoidant people that also love trance too,
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
and vice versa that love dubstep and bass music. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. Something to think about.
Yeah.
We're too complex. We're complex
Yeah.
beings to like put us into one
That's right.
category.
Yeah, I'm
Put us in a
personally,
box.
I'm an anxious attached. Like that's my attachment style, and I like everything.
Yeah.
Like everything under
Totally.
the sun.
Totally.
So,
Yeah.
Well, I think let's move into fan questions.
Enough of that, because it makes me so sad.
That makes you
makes me
sad?
anxious.
It makes
It makes
you
me anxious. It makes me anxious to use my brain and to think about all
We're
this
getting
fucking-
vulnerable today.
But yeah, we have fan questions that we would love to ask you. I got one if you guys are ready.
Yeah, go for
Yeah,
it.
you go
Okay,
Because I gotta look
so
for it.
Thomas Timeless Trails asks, what is always your go-to coffee shop in LA?
Oh, nice question. Ooh, LA. Okay, so there's this one on Melrose called, it's Mad Happy, the store Mad Happy, like a clothing store.
Ooh, yeah.
But inside
Mhm.
they have a coffee shop. Not many people know it.
Oh,
So that's one.
speakeasy.
Yeah, kind of a speakeasy.
Okay.
The Mad Happy one. Another one that I love is Maru. They have this amazing drink called the Cream Top, and it's incredible. Yeah, and I can keep going.
Have you
but
been to Alfred's?
Wait, yeah, keep going, please.
Wait,
I need like a
taking
whole
mental
list.
any like location specific? Because I can.
Up to you.
We can go there. Okay, if you're in like the Arts District area, there's Maru there as well. There's also Maru in Los Feliz, Canyon Coffee in Echo Park.
Oh, I'm gonna check out that.
And then, what else?
Have you been to Verve in downtown?
Oh, Verve is great. There's so many locations. In K-Town, there's Alchemist, which is fantastic. Yeah. Oh, there's one in Santa Monica, but I can't think
You
of it
got
right
the
now.
spots, man. You,
know.
you got like the small hidden gem spots. I only know
Yeah.
Alfred's because I like chaga.
Alfred's is good. You know, it's good. It's good.
Okay, I only like the chocachino because they're known for the chocachino.
Okay.
You know chocachino?
No.
So it's not known. It's just mushrooms and coffee. So
Oh,
my cocktail
cool.
function
Oh my
is
gosh,
functioning.
she ordered it for me once, and I've never felt like that in my life.
Like energetic.
It was more than that.
I opened up her brain.
Yeah.
So the third eye
her
just
pineal
opened.
gland
Her
was
pineal
her
gland.
pineal gland was going
Was-
off.
And then we went to an event, and I was like, yo.
'Cause I didn't want to drink. I don't want to drink. So I'm like, I'm going to use mushrooms. So like,
Cool.
it's non-psychoactive. It's,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just supposed to help my brain. So
But I love coffee, and all my fans know that.
Oh,
And
yeah?
That's why you got
I've
some
been
questions
doing like
about
these.
it.
Yeah, I've been doing like these
Okay.
fan meetups or like this contest on my Instagram where I'm on tour right now, so you can see all my tour dates, and you comment where you are, and I'd pick pick a few people, and when I'm in your city, we go and grab coffee.
Nice. That's
You know what
awesome.
we should do?
God, that's
But you
so
know you should do? So
sweet.
there's like a trend where DJs play just at random venues. You should just play a set at a coffee shop.
Ooh, that's a cool idea, actually.
That'd be so
Yeah,
cool.
like a
Cool.
pop-up
Don't they do
secret
stuff
set.
like that in like Amsterdam?
Yeah,
or
they
something?
look at a pizzeria
Yeah, like-
or
Yeah,
like a
Nostalgics
bakery.
did that, right?
Yeah, I think you should do a
Yeah.
coffee shop. That'd be really cool.
I love that idea, and actually, we're actually talking to like one of my favorite coffee roasters right now about
Let's go.
doing a little
A
collab.
Jason
Yeah.
Ross Coffee?
Which is really
Let's
exciting.
go. That's like
I
the best
love
side
that.
quest ever. Oh
It's
my
a great
god.
side.
I
It's like
love
Yes.
it.
it's
Authentic
but this
side
goes
quest.
back to authenticity.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
do it,
yeah, yeah.
do what you want. Like, does it? If it works for your brand and who you are, But
Yeah.
so I'm really excited about that. It's the first time I'm sharing that actually, which is crazy. But it's also cool. It's a cool way for me to like connect with the fans on a more personal level, and it's been awesome. I've already been to Boston, Charlotte, and this past weekend I was in Tempe, Arizona, and Vegas, and it's been so fun to connect with people. And not only that, but like I also get to like enjoy amazing coffee. I choose the location and
stuff you love to
it's
do.
great. Yeah,
That's
all the
so
stuff I love to do.
sweet of you,
Awesome.
man. Like you're so
Yeah.
down to earth, just to be like actually like for real, but in a good way. To have the desire to like want to connect deeper with like people who resonate with your music.
Totally, yeah. And I feel like it's so hard, like as a DJ, to connect with the fans. I mean, you have
Yeah.
online, you have Discord, the Atlas Discord and Facebook group, but where I am active. But it's hard to connect on a deeper level.
Yeah.
Aside from like replying to a comment or
Yeah.
replying to a DM. And I appreciate my fans so much. Like I have so much love for them, and it's my way of showing my appreciation back. And not only that, but like getting to know my fans, because I want to get to know, the people that love my music. I feel like there's a lot of, because they love my music, like there's already that connection of like being on that same wavelength, and
Yeah.
it's just cool to connect with them and hear their stories of how they found my music and how they found electronic music, because I'm a fan just like them. So
I love that.
It just makes me
Not
love
a
your
lot
music
of people
more.
are like that for
Yeah.
sure. Like
Yeah.
not a lot of people, especially in the music industry, have that same mindset as you. So I really
Hats off to you.
appreciate that. Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
One of our patrons, Donovan Dragon, asks, dream collab or venue?
Oh, so 2 questions. that 2 questions?
Yeah. He said or, so I guess you could give one answer. but-
Dream dream collab. I mean, Millennium would be awesome.
That would be.
Yes.
I would say Above and Beyond. Like we definitely collaborated. We collaborated on a remix, Fly to New York, and I think a collab would be epic.
That would be. Do you have a venue that you would love to play at that you haven't played at yet?
Like headline or just in general?
We'll say headline.
Headline, Red Rocks would be epic.
I that was like my first thought. I'm like, I feel
Yeah.
like Red Rocks.
Mhm.
The Gorge would be epic.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely that too.
Madison Square Garden would be epic.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Sick.
Just to name a few.
Okay, I have the next question from Logo Boards Shred 20. We already touched on the first question. What's it like collabing? Jesus Christ, Jan, with all different artists. But the second question is, do you have any funny stories about working with different artists?
Like collaborating with them, like making music.
Yeah,
Do I have any funny stories?
or maybe like on a back-to-back set, or
Okay. There was like when I went back to back with Seven Lions at the Gorge. It was my first time shifting tempos. So like, you know, like I said, I started just playing one tempo the whole time, 128 BPM. And then he's like all over the board. He's like 128, 150, 100, 130. And so it was my first time DJing like that. And you have to kind of relearn
Yeah.
the turntables, the CDJs. There's a whole art form to it and like a science. And so it was my first time doing that. And it was also Jeff's first time DJing with CDJs. So
Oh,
we
wait.
were in the green rooms before the set, and this was like broadcasted live. Like if you mess up, like the whole world is going to hear it. So there's a lot of pressure. So we had CDJs in the green room where like for hours we went to the Gorge really early and just kept practicing. And there's one part and how we did it is like I would play one song, he would play the other song, and you know, but when you're up at the Gorge overlooking, 20,000 people, there's just like it's a lot going at you. It's a lot to process. And
Yeah.
I remember Jeff was to my right. He was just like in the moment, like rocking out. But it was his turn to play the next song. And I'm just like, is he going to do it? Like, it's like there's like a cue point on the CDJ where like, it's like, okay, press play there. And he was just like in his own world, just like taking it all in. And you can see on the live stream, I like kind of like nudge him. I'm like, dude, like go. And he's like, oh shit. Okay. Yeah. So we did it.
Let's go.
We collaborated and we got it done. But yeah, that was a very high stress situation. Yeah.
Wow. Epic.
But yeah, that's a set that like a lot of my fans say that like got me into the music and kind of introduced me to a lot of those new fans, which is cool.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. Next question is, why do you mostly perform in the US and so rarely visit Europe?
Kind of going back to like how, trance is so big outside of the US. Melodic bass and like being more versatile in that like melodic bass trance fusion thing that I do is still growing outside of the US. So I think once I kind of expanded my sound, it became, I definitely became bigger in the US for sure. And it was kind of like, getting bigger in the US, but also kind of like turning down some offers outside because I just expanded my sound and they want more of that like trance sound. So I'd love to go back and
Like
work.
pure trance.
Pure trance, yeah.
Is there a reason why melodic dubstep isn't as popular in Europe?
No, I don't know actually. No,
Always
everyone's. I mean, it's really big in Asia right now, which is awesome.
Oh,
so
wow.
I'll definitely be going to Asia more next year. I just got back from Hong Kong at Creamfields, which is epic, and they love the
Nice.
sound, and you know they love that I expanded. But yeah, I think it's just taken a little while. Every country, every like region has like their trends, and I think some are a little behind, you know. But yeah, it's hard to say, but I think it just takes a while for things to catch up sometimes.
Or some
Yeah.
like kind of stick to their roots.
Oh, I'd love to hear that last song that you have. Do you have another?
Yeah, I do.
Yes, play more music.
Yeah.
For a second, you were looking at me like,
Music.
wait, what song?
So what's this one?
This is a new one, also not done, but I've gotten the okay to play it. This is one with Daughter, who has a song with 7 lines. I think it's Brightest Lights or something like that. She's awesome. This is called Where in Heaven. It's that melodic bass vibe.
Let's go.
again. Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
I already like this.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait, is this using the chords from the We're in Heaven?
Can hear
Like,
you laugh.
for a second, it sounded like it.
Oh, no.
If you only could have warned me, if I could have been there, protect your skin, wasn't meant to see your heart bleed. Oh, I don't know how to live without you by my side. If I could hold,
I like the
I
drums.
wouldn't let you go until the end of time. So tell me where in heaven are you now? Are you dancing up there in the clouds? So show me heaven if that's where you are. Will I find you far beyond the stars? Where in heaven?
Hell yeah.
Where in heaven? Where in heaven? Where in I can feel you close, even though you're far. You're forever in my heartbeat.
Great vocals.
Forget, it's way too hard. Guess time won't make the scars heal. Oh, I don't know how to live without you by my side. So tell me where in heaven are you now? Are you dancing up there in the clouds? So show me heaven if that's where you are. Will I find you far beyond the stars? Where in heaven?
Epic.
So tell me where in heaven are you now? Are you dancing up there in the clouds? So show me heaven if that's where you are. Will I find you far beyond the stars? Where in heaven?
That was spicy.
No, I like
That was a little
that.
faster for like.
Yeah, I like the drum
Totally.
pattern.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was sick.
I heard.
Yeah.
Was it like? Did you get like Spanish type of influence on that? 'Cause
Totally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's a little guitar. and,
Yeah. it was
You said
sick.
the vocalist was Daughters.
Daughter.
Daughter.
Dotter.
Daughter, got
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
She sounds like Zara Larson.
Oh my
I could
God,
see that
yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
I was like, you know that like dolphin song that's like going crazy right
I
now?
just
on
want to
TikTok?
be put.
no.
I was like, why does it sound like the same girl? Yeah.
It's definitely that more pop.
Yeah, it did
Yes,
sound a lot more
yeah,
poppy.
Yeah. No, she's awesome. Yeah.
That was
Whoa.
that was
was-
awesome.
yeah.
Thank you
I
for
love it.
ending it on such a good note.
like a happy
Yeah.
note. Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
Enlightened.
Yeah.
Can you let everyone know what you got coming up?
Yeah.
Like, please plug yourself. I know you're on tour. You mentioned.
Yeah. I'm on the Atlas Dimensions Club Tour, which is cool. It's more like intimate vibe, which is really dope. So check it out. It's in the U.S., Canada, all that. Just put out an EP, Divergence EP
Go
on
listen.
Monster Cat. So check that out.
Mhm.
There's like influences, different genres. It's got everything for everyone. Yeah. So just on tour. Yeah. Still making music.
Mhm.
And
Any
yeah.
any specific like festivals coming up? that you're playing at?
Freaky Deaky in Salt Lake, which is really exciting. And yeah, a few that aren't announced yet, but yeah.
You have
So
merch?
I got merch. Yeah, we have new merch that just dropped, which is really exciting.
Go check it out.
Check it out. Me and my fiance are actually modeling it on Instagram.
Oh, I saw that.
So,
I saw that.
Cute.
Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah. So merch, tour, music, all that good stuff. Yeah.
Let's
Hell
go.
yeah.
Well, Jason, thank you so much for being here today.
Yes, thank
thanks
you
for
so
having me.
much.
Yeah,
Thank you for your
so
good
fun.
vibes.
You've
Oh my
really
God.
been a
Love
treat.
it.
Seriously.
Thank you guys. Yeah, this is so fun.
Breath of fresh air.
Yeah, honestly,
Thank you.
you just like shifted my entire day because I got into a car accident before this, so I was like a little bit like on edge. But then like after like this whole podcast, you just kind of like you brought me back.
Awesome.
Brought me
I'm
back.
glad. Happy about that. Yeah. That's awesome.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for getting this far in the episode. If you didn't already know, we have a Patreon. So first off, thank you to all of our patrons. If you didn't already know, that is the best way to support us. And we have bonus episodes on the Patreon. We have exclusive playlists. You get priority Q&A. So a lot of cool features on there. Definitely go and check that out. And even if you're not a patron, we still love you. Thank you for being here. And Nan's not here today, so I guess I got to do unless Jan, you want to do the like, comment, subscribe?
Yeah, make sure to leave a comment. What did we say earlier? Oh, tag Coldplay.
Yes.
If you're not subscribed, what the heck are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell so you get notified every time we drop a new video.
There you go.
I watch a lot of YouTube, can you tell?
And comment who you guys want to see on the pod next. Thank you so much again for being here. We love you guys.
Thank you.
See you in 2 weeks.